Greetings, everyone. I wanted to come on and share a little bit about the power of reverence. I just finished a 2-hour long call with my monthly group called Steady as She Goes, and it was profound. It was a great experience of applying these techniques and tools that we've been learning through soul work, but applying them in the moment, with the group, real time, and experiencing the results, experiencing the outcome of not just knowing the tools, but applying them. And I wanted to give you a small sampling of that here, right now. Because if you ask yourself, we don't spend enough time doing this, but if you were to ask yourself, what is reverence? What is reverence and how does reverence feel? How does reverence feel and where does reverence feel? Where do you feel reverence in the body? These are all good questions to begin with, to start to acquaint yourself with the frequency or the energy, the energetic signature of reverence. Because this is what's necessary in order to apply a frequency to a situation, to a trauma response, to a block or a trigger. And reverence is just one example. I've been practicing with clients over the years with different frequencies, kindness, generosity, gratitude, frequencies of the heart and its ability to transform, its ability to transmute density, to soften hardness, to uncontract contraction, to bring a deeper spaciousness or a deeper place of softness, of a softer way of being back to you, helping you remember who you are before these layers of hardness and density and trauma and overwhelm have contracted you into being the personality or the being that you are when you are in that mode of protection. So it's good to get curious about different words. It's a word, reverence, but it's really a frequency is what I'm pointing to. So if you were to come into your body, and sometimes that's easy for you to do, depending on where you're watching sometimes it's harder to do. But if you were to come into your body and feel in the body for where does reverence sit? Where does reverence feel in your body? You get the twinge perhaps right away that it's the center of the chest, it's in the heart area, it's in the heart, the vicinity of the heart. If you were to start to feel reverent for something, how does that feel? It can feel that there's a turning inward, almost as if it's an internalizing of holiness. Reverence, it's like a feeling of deep bow, like a deep bow towards the holiness of something, the sanctity of something, the sacredness of something. To revere it is to hold it in a high place and high esteem. So connect for a moment. If you need to close your eyes, but ask yourself, where do I feel reverence? Where does reverence come in my body when I call to it? When I initiate it, when I activate it, reverence. And it's good to get practiced at this. How can I activate my own reverence so that I can then use it as a tool to bring forward when I turn to some pattern or trigger or trauma? I can bring the frequency of reverence as I begin to bow to that internal peace. Someone in our group was just referencing how she was feeling the expansions, the expansiveness, right, of who she is, the ancientness, the oneness. But then there was a bit of a feeling of a little bit of edginess that came up as a result, right? And that edginess could be anything for us. It could be a contraction of guilt or doubt or I don't deserve this. But whatever might pop up in the container while you're feeling such expansion, we can turn to that as long as we pause and recognize that something is up. There's an edginess happening. Let me pause. It's one of the first steps of soul work. Let me pause. Notice that it's happening. And simply by pausing and noticing, you're actually separating yourself from the actual edginess, from the trigger. It gives you more spaciousness to turn to it and to start to see it with different eyes, to see it with eyes of gratitude and kindness and reverence. And so right now we're practicing reverence. So if we were to turn towards that edginess, to turn towards that blockage or contraction of sorts, and see it with the eyes of reverence, simply because it's there. Because in my mind, what it's doing is it's raising its hand and saying, look at me, pay attention to me, notice me, include me, give me love. Don't forget about me. Don't try to get rid of me or clear me. Bring me in. That's what it's saying. That's why it's active. That's why it's up. So we pause and we turn to it and we bow. And we say, thank you so much. Deep bow. And I'm generating an energy of reverence in my heart, of deep bow, of reverence for this blockage, for this stickiness, for this contraction or this edginess. Thank you for existing. Thank you for raising your hand as if you're raising it's raising its hand in a circle and in a sadhana, in a meeting, and it's saying, pay attention to me. And you want to say, bow, deep bow. Yes, I choose you. I look at you. I see you. I respect you. Thank you for showing yourself. And sometimes, just with that awareness, sometimes with that frequency of reverence, turning towards that particular contraction, that edginess, that stickiness, it dissolves, it releases, it rests back into the wholeness from which it came. You can feel a bit of it happening right now, just as I'm speaking and I'm describing it. Because if these contractions and edginess and blockages, they simply are coming to the surface of our awareness to be seen, then once we see them with complete eyes of non-judgmental emotion, kindness, reverence, deep bow of reverence, they say, thank you. You saw me. Good. I can relax now back into wholeness. I can relax back into that which I came. Stillness is what you're left with. A quality of stillness, silence, peace, and softness, a deeper softness, a deeper peace, a deeper sense of quietude and stillness, remembering that this actually is who you are. You are this spacious stillness. So I will leave you with that as a practice to bring up the word and then the energy of reverence to see if you can practice finding reverence in your body and using that as a tool to bring up that frequency of reverence for whenever you experience any kind of blockage or stickiness or trigger, and see how it works. I look forward to hearing from you. Let me know. Deep bow.